Good evening, I'm Kevin Christopher.
And I'm Haley Harmon, in tonight for Nancy Cox. Thanks for joining us at 6. My goodness, what a gorgeous weekend we had across the area. Wish it could last a little bit longer.
Today a little bit different story. We've got some nasty thunderstorms out there, so let's check in first with Bill.
And last half hour we were talking about a severe thunderstorm warning that was for parts of Boyle and Casey and Marion County. That storm collapsed fairly quickly after that. So at the moment there are no warnings, but there are a couple of really strong storms that we're looking at. The one that had been severe earlier, still producing a lot of lightning and heavy rain along Highway 150 in Boyle County, along 127 going on up into Mercer County as well. You folks in Danville, you've got a thunder shower in progress with a lightning strike there out along the bypass, also out toward Junction City, and a lot of lightning strikes out toward Perryville. In terms of heavy rain as well, we've already measured an inch of rain right there at the Mercer and Woodford and Jessamine County lines, and then down toward Danville, about another inch of rain has come down. The storm is also developing pretty quickly on the east side of Lexington. A lot of heavy rain along I-75 going out toward the Hamburg area, down toward Athens as well. New lightning strikes signifying that we may be seeing a new redevelopment, a little bit of back building toward, say, the north side of Lexington. More heavy rain going out toward Winchester. And finally, other thunder showers are lighter as you look toward, say, West Liberty. So at the moment, no severe warnings. We'll continue to track all these storms for you and have more in a couple of minutes.
All right, Bill, thanks.
Let's get to our headlines this evening. Tonight, many are heartbroken to learn about the drowning of a UK student who had been studying abroad in the Middle East.
Tanaya Jones was wrapping up her 7-week exchange program with 6 other students. Lee Searcy has more in the big story at 6.
19-year-old Tanaya Jones was going into her sophomore year at UK, but this summer she studied Arabic as part of an exchange program in Amman, Jordan. Saturday, the week before she was to return to the States, Jones and 2 other students traveled to Tel Aviv and went swimming in the Mediterranean Sea. While there, officials say all 3 got pulled away in a strong current. Jones never made it back to shore with her friends. Her hometown newspaper reporting today that Israeli officials found her body earlier this morning.
And wherever she's at, I can guarantee you she knows that it's a house full here.
Relatives huddled together at her home in Fort Myers, hoping for the best over the weekend. Some of them questioning if Jones really went swimming or if something else happened.
She never used Sanibel Beach or Fort Myers Beach or Bonita Beach.
Back in Lexington, UK officials are helping Jones' family travel to the Middle East. We've learned just this past December, her brother Samuel died in a double homicide in Florida. Now her family is dealing with the unthinkable again. Relatives say Jones, who had a sense of adventure, had recently been accepted into the pre-med program at UK.
Going to Jordan was a big deal for her. That's what she wanted. Like, even when me and her first talked about it, like, you know, it's not my decision. I'm not her mom. I'm just her cousin. But I contemplated it in the back of my head. Like, I was like, that's the desert. That's the other side of the world.
Covering the news in Lexington, Lee Searcy, LEX 18 News.
In other news this evening, neighbors on Lexington's Liberty Road heard loud panicked screams and gunshots last night.
Police say those shots came from 20-year-old Montosh Jackson, who is now charged with murder. LEX 18's Carolina Buchek was in court for Jackson's first court appearance today, where things got tense between the family and the judge.
In court today, the judge made it clear Montosh Jackson faces some very serious charges. Her family was in court as well, where they anxiously waited for the judge to give them permission to speak, permission that was never granted. Montosh Jackson's family stormed out of the courtroom after the judge said he wasn't going to hear any evidence or testimony today. He also explained Jackson faces a murder charge, as well as 4 counts of wanton endangerment. Now, police say Jackson allegedly killed 19-year-old Jasmine Allen after she opened fire towards a group of people last night in this apartment complex on Liberty Road. But officers say this was not a random shooting. They say Jackson and the victim knew each other and had been arguing. One neighbor heard the screams.
I heard screaming, but it didn't sound like just a regular scream. It sounded like a cry for help scream.
The neighbor didn't want to show her face on camera because she says there's a lot of crime in that area. But she says other people also heard the gunshots.
the people that was over there said that they heard about 5 gunshots because it sounded like firecrackers.
And Jackson will be back in court next Monday at 8:30 in the morning. That is when the judge will set her bond. Covering the news in Lexington from the LEX Mobile Newsroom, back to you.
Sheriff's deputies in Bourbon County are investigating a shooting that sent 2 people to the hospital. It happened a little after 5 last night at the Millersburg Square apartment complex. Investigators say there was some sort of argument among 3 men about a woman when, at some point, shots were fired and 2 people with non-life-threatening injuries were taken to UK hospital. Police arrested Dalton Wilson on the scene. He's charged with 2 counts of assault. Investigation Discovery is exploring the disappearance of a Nelson County mother of 5. The case of Crystal Rogers will be featured on the network series On the Case with Paula Zahn. Rogers' car was found on the Bluegrass Parkway in July of 2015. There has been no sign of her since. She's presumed dead, and foul play is suspected. Here's a clip from the upcoming episode.
Do you think she ever left the farm that night?
I think she left the farm, yes.
Dead or alive?
I don't know.
The episode will air Sunday, August 5th at 10 p.m. And the Oxygen Network will air a 6-part series next month on Rogers' disappearance. That show premieres August 11th.
A Clark County man who admitted to setting his apartment on fire has been found competent to stand trial. That's according to the Winchester Sun. It happened in January. Firefighters say Frank Rayburn's apartment was still burning when he told them he started the fire to get some people staying with him to leave. He told investigators when those people refused to leave, he went into a rage and set the place on fire. No one was hurt. A new method of doing business has added another element to what's already been a big problem here in town. Michael Burke explains in this week's LEX 18 Crime Stoppers.
It's happening at a staggering rate here in Lexington, which really makes us no different from any other city, no matter the size.
There's no neighborhood where you're safe.
Even Detective Thomas's neighbors have been victimized, and that was when he was a uniformed officer with a police cruiser in his driveway.
They can clearly see that it was a marked cruiser.
They just don't care. As long as they can avoid confrontation, they will take the chance. This time doing so on Boiler Springs off Leestown. This time making a score, despite the victim having done the right thing.
The thief in this situation actually took the time not only to go through the car, the console, the glove box, but he also finds a trunk release.
So police believe he popped that open and then committed his alleged misdemeanor. Others he likely knows were then caught on cam taking care of the felony charges.
But 3 other people that we've caught on camera using these credit cards.
Ringing up thousands in fraudulent purchases at numerous Lexington locations, from gas stations to the mall. Nothing new about that, but the trunk release, that adds a different slant.
We just don't see that very often. Most people don't because, they're worried. They just want to hurry up and get whatever they're going to get out of the car and get out of there and then move on to the next target.
Which could be you.
It doesn't matter where you are. Those people that are out there looking for that stuff overnight are going to find your vehicle.
But will they find your valuables inside? That's up to you. In Lexington for this week's Crime Stoppers, Michael Burke, LEX 18 News.
If you have any information that leads to an arrest in that case, that tip could get you a cash reward from Bluegrass Crime Stoppers. Call 859-253-2020 or text your information to crimes. Just put Lex PD in the message along with your anonymous tip. The estate of a Lexington teenager's relative has filed a lawsuit against the operator of the duck boat that sank on a lake near Branson, Missouri earlier this month, killing him, 8 members of his family, as well as 8 other people.
The administrators of the estate of Irvin Coleman filed the $100 million wrongful death suit, claiming Ripley Entertainment, Ride the Ducks International, Ride the Ducks Branson, Hirschen Family Entertainment, and Amphibious Vehicle Manufacturing knew the duck boat industry was unfit and the tragedy was predictable. 17 people died July 19th when that duck boat sank during a severe thunderstorm on Table Rock Lake. Coleman is related to Frederick Douglass High School football player Jaden Coleman. The estate of another victim, Maxwell Lai, is also involved in that lawsuit. A car crashed into a Bourbon County church Sunday. It happened at the Silas Baptist Church in Paris just before 6 last night. The sheriff says a man was driving about 60 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone when he overcorrected. The car traveled 400 feet off the road and went a full car's length into the church. The sheriff told us an evening service was going on at the time and several people were hurt.
Oh, yeah, very surprising. We never dreamed anything, If you look at the hillside here, they come over that hill and to come through that distance of the yard and still hit the church that hard with the entire cars inside the church. It's amazing that we didn't have more that were hurt.
Deputies say they do not believe drugs or alcohol were factors in this crash. The church pastor says the building is more than 150 years old and they plan to rebuild as soon as possible.
The Lexington man who was the focus of a golden alert this morning has been found safe. 25-year-old Daniel Elliott, who has autism, was last seen leaving his home on Duval Street near Tates Creek Road around 5:30 last night. A golden alert was issued just before noon today, but less than an hour later, Lexington police tell us they found Elliott and they say he is safe tonight. Every year, Shriners Hospitals for Children selects 2 national patient ambassadors.
And Haley, this year, one of them is a Kentucky teenager. Watch how she's working to make a difference in the lives of other patients next on LEX 18 News at 6.